Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And good morning, female hockey league fans. Welcome in to a new era of G-Show Productions, live streaming on G-Show Game Day on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. You're home this weekend for the 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase, live from Stride Place Arena in Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. I'm your play-by-play commentator and host for this weekend, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. Also, happy to announce that we're going to have another play-by-play commentator that's going to be filling in ever so often this upcoming weekend. But as you can see in the top right-hand corner of the screen, as we got our sponsors rolling, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Terrico, Movement, Fitness and Performance, and Elite Prospects are the official sponsors of this year's Central Plains Capital Showcase on G-Show Productions. Thank you to them for supporting female hockey here in the province of Manitoba this weekend as we take a look at the 11 teams that are going to be competing this week in this Central Plains Capital Showcase on G-Show Productions, on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. 8 teams in total from the MFHL will be competing, from the Winnipeg Avros, the Winnipeg Ice, Interlake Lightning, Pembina Valley Hawks, Yellowhead Chiefs, Westman Wildcats, and of course the host team in the Central Plains Capitals and defending MFHL champions in the Eastman Selects. 2 Saskatchewan teams, the Weyburn Goldwings and the Prince Albert Northern Bears, and then another Manitoban team, but except they play in the CSSHL, the Pilot Mound Hockey Academy Buffaloes. As for all these teams, every team will be in action today. Central Plains will be playing twice since there is an uneven amount of teams in this tournament. They couldn't get to that even 12 number, sadly, but it's going to be a jam-packed weekend to play. Tomorrow is going to be super busy. All games that are not highlighted on this schedule will be seen here on Rink 1, where we're broadcasting here through these next 3 days. There's also other games that are going to be played on the second rink in this arena. Those games can be seen on Live Barn if you have a subscription there. Be sure to check out the full schedule at CentralPlainsFemaleCapitals.com. As for the tournament opener, it's the Central Plains Capitals, the host team, opening up their showcase against a familiar foe in the Interlake Lightning. As for Central Plains, they defeated Interlake 2-1 in a best-of-3 plan last year in the MFHL playoffs, but of course that was 2024-2025, and now here on September 19th, 2025, we truly get set and get ready for another great regular season of hockey. But before that, we get to see these teams playing in a final tune-up showcase. And as for these two teams, we'll start off with Central Plains. Of course, ousted from last season's MFHL play-in, but a year learning for a group that was quite young coming in. A lot of players from the U15 program transitioned up to the U18s in terms of some stuff where Brandon came into the league. That disrupted things a bit for teams like Central Plains in terms of having the best talent they could have there. So a bit of a younger team last year and a year of learning, but this year they come in with more maturity more experience under their belt. They know a bit more of what it takes to play at this level, how to be successful and whatnot. So yeah, looking forward to seeing an older Central Plains team that has some good skill on it. We're talking about their captain, players like Ainsley Zubik, who I believe her dad's the coach this year of the team, head coach Matt Zubik. They don't have Elise Denbo anymore in goal, perennial all-star in the MFHL, once a goaltender of the year award winner, but they do have some solid goaltenders in net this year when we're talking about a goaltender in Bailey Schwartz, and also coming back is Olivia May. So you got some experience there and some youth in net, and then big-time players coming back like Taylor Tarrant, Chloe Macbeth, Faith Legault, Jocelyn Cameron, Mila Marganet. You know, these players looking to make an impact this season, looking to make a huge impact, and we're going to get a chance to see it here first off in this early morning matchup. As for the Interlake Lightning, a quarterfinal exit in 2024-2025, losing to the eventual champion in the Eastman Selects, who will get a chance to see them this season. It's a group that lost quite a bit of talent offensively due to aging out and whatnot when we're talking about their captain in Brianne Winross. Tim Check no longer there. Some big-time players. But what this team has is a lot of grit, a lot of fight, and you can be sure that Kelsey McComb and her coaching staff, no matter what, will have this group ready and fired up to play. Our pregame outlooks brought to you by Canton Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Movement Fitness and Performance, Elite Prospects, and Terrico. Once again, thank you to them for supporting us this weekend and for supporting this showcase, as I should say, as it's technically not a tournament, a showcase, meaning that there's going to be no medals, no playoff rounds given out. It's just these teams are going to play. From what I've heard, every team is going to get 4 games this weekend, 3 20-minute periods, no overtime or shootouts, sadly, for entertainment's sakes. But hey, it's all about just getting the reps in and getting set for what's going to be a busy 2025-2026 season coming up. By the way, how things are going to work today, this is going to be the only pregame show of the day since we are on a tight schedule. It's just going to be game after game after game as we take a look at the schedule right here. But we will end off Avros and the Prince Albert Northern Bears game with a post-game show. Thank you so much for tuning into this one, Female Hockey League fans, Interlake Lightning fans, Central Plains fans, and anyone else who may be tuning in. Single game prices this week for live broadcast are going to be $5 a pop. If you want more value, save a bit of money overall, $35 in total for 14 games in our 2025 Central Plains Capitals bundle. That can be found on our service, gshowproductions.uscreen.io. By the way, if you do just solely buy the live event, I'm going to have to fiddle around to give you free access afterwards if you do want to watch it. After you do watch it live, since it's kind of like, if you were to watch a UFC event, you only pay for the live event and that's it. We're going to try to see if we can make that not the case. But, yeah, be patient. If you do end up buying the game, just a single buy, one-time purchase, we will get it to you to watch for free afterwards once this broadcast concludes and you're able to watch it at any time, because I feel like that's only right. If you do pay a $5 price, you expect to have that game forever. I do understand, but sorry for the confusion if there was any. Female Hockey League fans, hope that you enjoy this weekend. Thank you for supporting us on your home for hockey here in the province of Manitoba on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. Enjoy the game, everybody. national anthem in the books for the first time today. We're going to most likely hear that before every game this weekend, but we're here. It's a party in Portage La Prairie this weekend. Female Hockey League fans, or female hockey fans as I should say, is welcome into G-Show Productions coverage of the 2025 Central Plains Capitals Showcase from Portage La Prairie, Manitoba, on your home for hockey here in Manitoba, on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. Be sure to check out our pricing packages for all of our content, as well as this weekend, as it's May in net for the Caps, Sugimoto in net for the Lightning as we're underway here. Pass up quickly into the Lightning zone as it's dumped in by Central Plains. First on it is captain in Ellis Pearson as she gets taken down. Macbeth holds out the line. Macbeth sends it towards the net, trying to get a tip there, Central Plains, but nothing through. Macbeth holds again. D-to-D pass down to Lego. She goes down low with it, trying to send it down to a teammate as both the Bolts and Central Plains, the Capitals, they battle. Both of these teams very familiar with each other throughout the years, as had many battles, most recently last year's MFHL play-in, where it was Interlake who ousted the host showcase team 2-1 in that best-of-3 to face off against the eventual MFHL champions last year in the Eastman Selects. As for Central Plains, as mentioned in the pregame show, a bit older this season, but having trouble breaking the puck in for the time being. May, out of her crease, sends it to a defenseman on her squad. They go D-to-D as Central Plains tries to work this up, but it's Boonstra who ends up holding the point for Interlake as Moisey goes to battle with a few Central Plains players now. There's Taylor Taryn, Team Manitoban player this year for the U18 Manitoba squad that will be competing in the Women's Nationals in November. She's in center ice. Goes off for a change as Marganet sends this in. Fresh legs coming on soon here for Central Plains as that's sent out in front. Nothing doing. Held in at the point, though, as they skated back in, trying to send it towards the net, but nothing doing there for Cameron. Up to the point. That shot blocked. Nice one by number 12 in Moisey for Interlake. Trying to get it out, but Frost holds the line. Moisey continuing to battle. Frost works it to the net, and that's saved by Sugimoto, who she went by Jane last year, but now it's Eleanor Sugimoto. As quite a young goaltender. She's been in this league for the past few years. I guess not so young anymore. It's her grad year. Got that mixed up with her birth year. Thought maybe it says she's graduating 2029, which would be pretty wild to see her playing a few years in the league before turning the age she would be. But senior this year for Interlake as she gets tested early on here. Shots 1-0 for the host squad in Central Plains. As down low, Cameron cuts that off as Interlake tries to work this up the boards, but unable to, as both teams continue to battle there. Now picked up along the wall by Nolgren. Plays that to the captain in Pearson, who plays it up to Nicole Hutchison, but line held by Central Plains. Works it there. That shot unable to quite get to the net. So it's number 17 in Kaylee Lindsay. Tried sending it in there. Now picked up by Tedlock, but a save made. Sorry, that's Laycock who takes the shot for Central Plains. Covered up by Sugimoto. As we bring in a returning sponsor onto the screen, Central Plains Capital, or Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, one of our sponsors for this weekend. Jumbling my words to start off today. Early in the morning. Hey, great to see Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Their logo down below on the screen this morning. Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check them out today at 995 Miltz-Eagle Drive in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and on their website at cancentralsportscards.com. As this sent down low into the Interlake zone again, going to battle there. Callie Ray. Ray ties up an Interlake player along the boards. Getting this loose is number 18 for Interlake, but picked off. Sorry, number 16 in Boonstra tried making that pass. Number 21 for Interlake now with some wheels is Sydenham as she tries to skate this up with some speed. Tries to cut through, but unable to. High stick there from Taryn. No call on the play. She caught Sydenham there a bit high. As play continues, passed up, stretched up to Mowerkirk. Mowerkirk, lane to the net, gets cut off. Physical play, no call as it's Ellis Pearson laying down the hammer in front of the Interlake net. Still scoreless here, 16:05 remaining, 3-0 the shots in favor of Central Plains. As offensive zone face-off draw won by Central Plains on the tie-up, trying to get it back there, number 10 in Faith Legault. Taylor Taryn, number 20, and the captain for this year's Central Plains Capital squad. As Taryn looks to give chase early here, but picked off. As that pass unable to get out of the zone. Now it does, but this will be all the way down for an icing. So we'll get a face-off coming up right back in the Interlake Lightning zone as got a look there at Olivia May, number 33 for the Central Plains Capital squad. Not busy at all to start things off. All she's really done is get out of her net to play some pucks, raise the hand for some icings. See if she gets busier as time goes along in this game, but Eleanor Sugimoto, she's been busy to start things off. Her 4th save of the contest already. This is 4-0 shots now in favor of the Capitals. As face-off draw lost there by Cameron, but in front, Cameron unable to put that away as she received a pass. Another shot save made by Sugimoto again. That's Interlake. Now gets out of the zone. As with some speed, Moisey break into the net. First shot, big save by May. Smothering that backhand with the glove. Covering things up. As her first save, a great one. Locked in on the Moisey chances. Moisey just got a bit of room behind the Central Plains Capitals defense. And had a nice look there on number 33. Moisey on the forecheck, but unable to get possession of it. Now Laycock gets it out, but held there just before the blue line by number 6 for Interlake as it's sent down. Again, save made by May as she puts that to the side to a teammate at the boards. As Frost will go for a skate now. Frost about to be cut off, so just sends this in deep. It'll be picked up first by Interlake. Number 16, Boonstra sends this up the boards. Now again, as it was Hutchinson who sent that in. Nolgren now strips the puck. That save made huge by May as she came out to challenge number 19 in Nolgren. As this sent off the stick of Laycock now all the way down as Boonstra first one on it. Has Hutchinson with her, decides to go off the boards instead. Boulanger, that puck makes it past her. First one on it. Macbeth is Macbeth. Surveys her options, but that pass off the mark for Mowerkirk as it ends up all the way down to the Interlake Lightning zone. Once again, held in at the line by Macbeth. That blocked by number 2 in Halpenny. Down low, giving chase again, Marganet, but she gets cut off. Number 15 in Malmstrom tries to play this up, but she's cut off by Central Plains Capital. Now chipped off the boards, but not quite out still as Central Plains still holds the line. Now they make their way towards the front of the net. There, Marganet, huge save made. Sugimoto, she lets it in. Just got past number 1 as for the first time in this tournament we see a goal scored by the hosts in the Central Plains Capitals to make it 1-0. The shot from number 4 in Mila Marganet just beat Sugimoto. 1-0, Central Plains leads. 1-0 Central Plains leads here. Has had to step away for a moment. We got people interested already where to find the live streams. As for who isn't able to make it into the arena, G-Show Productions, our staff, really happy to be able to offer this alternative this year to fans who can't make it in. But yeah, that goal brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Great start for Central Plains, as they've carried most of the play to start things off here in this showcase, trying to work it up. Number 10 in Lily McGregor, but she had that one stripped. McGregor remains out there, gets a pass again. What does she do this time? Plays it off the boards, giving chase is number 6 in Kiesman, but unable to catch up to it. Kiesman back on her stick, but gets cut off by a Capital, as it's Laycock who's able to send it out. Moisey cuts her off low and goes to D as Interlake tries to make their way up. A bit more pace, a bit more hop in their step as this period has gone along. So we get a stoppage with 11:57 in this first period. And for a lot of these teams coming in, Central Plains and Interlake included, haven't had that many games together as of yet, so this weekend is great to be able to work on some chemistry, work out the kinks for the real game start. And for Central Plains, I think you really got to like your start here. So you get set later on to play another game, two games in the opening day of the showcase. But you got to like your start, and you got to like how Olivia Mays looks so far. Really comfortable in that. As Interlake, as mentioned, continues to play with more pace, more speed, getting better looks as this game goes along. That pass to the slot cut off, as now it'll be sent up again. As Blocker had that picked off. Boonstra now on it for Interlake. Short little pass to Hutchinson, tries to chip it off the boards, gets it back, and finally does get it out of her own end. Taylor Taryn first one on it, spins away from the pressure and tries to get this up to Mowerkirk. Taryn gets it right back, has Marganet with her, but just kidding, thought she'd do it herself, but passed it off at the end. Gets it back down low, it's Taryn. Looking in front, high slot, that shot saved Sugimoto. Rebound covered up again by number 1. Loose puck, now at the side for Marganet, into the slot off the skate. That pass goes though, courtesy of Marganet to Mowerkirk. Mowerkirk shot blocked and wide of the net now, as Central Plains, their forecheck comes to life again. Macbeth sends this down low, cut off by number 19 in Nolgren. Nolgren has this intercepted. Macbeth drags, shoots, that fired into the pad of Sugimoto and covered up. So you're watching the 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. It's a tie-up at the face-off draw. Won by the Caps, and in front, that pass unable to be fed on to the tape of number 5 for this Capitalist team in Merleys. But Merleys, along with teammate in Laycock, still given pressure. Interlake able to successfully break this out now. As for the Lightning, sent on net. That puck sent into the boards as rebound control. Very nice there from May. D as Interlake holds this in, but a mishap on that reception of the pass as the Caps break this up again. Drag shot fired into the blocker of number 18 there. Or from number 18 into Eleanor Sugimoto. As Frost gets this pass over to a teammate, but that ends up going wide of the net. Up again, Ling. Try to send it towards the net, but couldn't. Linz that is. Blocker now with the shot, or Boulanger, as that's blocked in front. As Alice Pearson just sends this all the way down deep. Fresh set of legs on their way for the Interlake Lightning squad. As this will be blocked and turned over now. McGregor heading to the net, tapping off the post, off of May, sticking in. What a way to tie it. 8:46 remaining. As we're evened up again. It's Lily McGregor who goes off the post first, but gets her rebound back luckily and doesn't fail on the second chance. Pass made by, I believe, we'll find out in a moment here who made that pass, but great pressure from the Interlake Lightning, forcing that turnover, creating a 2-on-1. McGregor, great hockey awareness to go to that spot. A great finish in the end. As Lola Parkinson assists the goal, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. We'll see how Interlake continues to build off of this as the goal scorer, McGregor, can't send that in deep. It was blocked up by the other number 10 on the ice, and Faith Legault. There's no icing called here on the play. Going to battle. Number 6 in Kiesman plays that to a teammate. Now to the middle to McGregor. The goal scorer in this game has Kiesman with her. Sends that down low to Kiesman. McGregor looks like she's going off. Looked like Kiesman was trying to find her with a pass, but it was already too late by the time she ended up going off for a change as this sent in deep into the Lightning zone. Nice moves down low by number 5 in Merleys, but cut off in the end. Now Cameron along the boards tied up. Gets us to the point to Macbeth now was that pass from Merleys. Macbeth walks in off the post. No goal as that signaled from the referees. We play on at a tie game of 1 apiece right now with 7:20 remaining. Interlake getting some fresh legs on. Have to get back to defend this as Central Plains makes their way down low, sends this in deep into the Interlake zone as Pearson takes a bump along the boards. Got that to Moisey, turned over at center ice. Central Plains making their way back in. It's dumped in deep around the net, occupied by Sugimoto. This puck goes. Pearson gets that quickly up to Moisey, but off her stick and turned over again. Now into the Central Plains zone. A bit of a mishap there from Laycock as she turns it over just outside the blue line. As Interlake sends this in deep. First one on it. Number 2 and Schnell off the board. Safe pass to a teammate, but turnover now. Oh, May with a great save on Nolgren. Another chance potentially. Backhand shot. Not able to get to the net that time as Central Plains sticks there to deny it. Blocking it up along the boards. Trying to dangle in, but unable to. Number 8 in Riddle. As this ends up out of the Central Plains zone, Interlake looks to attack again. Number 15 in Chance off the boards D to a teammate. Tries going reverse down below, trying to get it around to Laycock as Laycock chips this up to Linz. Linz has Marganet with her. Passes it over to Marganet, but that's blocked up. Nice attempt, but all for naught for this Central Plains Capitalist team on what was looking like a potential scoring chance on that rush. Marganet sends this up to Mowerkirk. Mowerkirk tries to send that in deep, but cut off just inside the Interlake Lightning blue line by the Bolts. So it still remains in the Interlake zone. Taryn trying to do some nifty work with her stick, but unable to bat it up to herself. Interlake heading the other way along the boards. Number 2 in Halpenny will now be tied up along the boards, along with Taryn in there to battle. It's Forfar also in there trying to help out as we got 5 minutes, 2 seconds remaining here in this 1-1 game. In this first period, so we got a stoppage in play due to the puck just not moving anymore. Shots 12-6 in favor of the Capitals. As draw 1 by the Caps. Is that off the stick of Taryn all the way in deep into the Lightning zone. Is given chase now, sent out in front towards the net, and save made by Sugimoto. As Central Plains chased that puck down first and got to the attack right away. Face-off draw to the glove hand side of Eleonora. Sugimoto draw 1 by Interlake, and they're off to the races. McGregor has a teammate with her, elects to shoot that off the pad of May and into the corner. That rebound goes. McGregor back on a good forecheck from Lola Parkinson to allow that turnover to happen, but Central Plains gets it right back. Now they break up off the boards, plays it to herself. That's Murley's, I believe. Murley's still on it. She gets this puck back. Up to Lego. At the half wall, Lego sends this right back down low to number 18 in Martin. Martin goes to battle, goes to work along the boards, gets this up to Lego. Is Lego. Passes this D to D. Macbeth, her shot blocked up. As that'll be Interlake who's able to get it out. It's McGregor, good forecheck, forces the turnover at center ice. Number 8 in Schnell. Trying to get that down low, it's Riddle out there with Kiesman as both on the forecheck. Interlake wins on the forecheck. Moisey, a blast from the point into the breadbasket of number 33 and Olivia May. So we get a stoppage with 3:41 remaining in this first period of action. So we're tied up at 1 apiece here at Stride Place Arena. For the opener of this showcase, Graham Forsyth, your play-by-play commentator and host for this morning's action, as this turned over at center ice. Now stretched up, Lynn's offside on the play as she took that pass in stride, but a bit too far ahead was number 17. Draw one by Kaylee Linds, the one who just did go offside. D to D onto the backhand of Schnell. Schnell plays this up to Laycock. Laycock whacks this in to the Interlake zone with some time for a moment to work, but now stripped. Linds makes her way towards the net, draws a penalty in the process. Well, we got a penalty shot coming up here, maybe just a power play, as Central Plains sends this down low for Interlake to touch up. And no, it will just be a hooking penalty. What a shift there from Linds. Obviously, you go offside, you're unable to get a chance, but right afterwards, that did not deter number 17. She was right back on the attack. Great forecheck there from Central Plains. Interlake has to be a bit quicker with their puck movement in their zone, given how ferocious this forecheck from Central Plains has been to start things off. We bring Can Central sports cards and memorabilia back onto the screen for this Capitals power play. .257 remaining. Number 10 in McGregor, the goal scorer also for Interlake in the box. The Central Plains, we get to take a look at their special teams unit, their power play for the first time here this weekend. Linds tried to drag that to protect against Blocker, but had it stripped away. Now down low, up to Shantz. Shantz across to Schnell. Schnell, her shot, unable to locate any part of Sugimoto as that goes wide. Shantz, that shot, trying to find a tip, but couldn't get it there from number 9 and Callie Ray. So that's who she was trying to locate the stick of. Across now to Schnell. Schnell, her pass up. No icing going to be called on the play, but it's a missed pass nonetheless, as Interlake unable to get it out. First one on it, but not hard enough on the clear out across Marganet. Oh, nice pass back. That shot, beautiful save by Sugimoto. Shot afterwards goes wide of the net. This is played up to Frost. Frost to Marganet. Marganet tries to fit that one across, but nice stick in front from Nolgren. Great defensive play on the PK from the Interlake Lightning forward. Marganet goes to chase this down low, protects the puck and gets it to Taryn. Taryn, the captain, up to Frost, back to the Capitals captain and Taryn. Drops it back to Frost. Frost down low. Marganet has that stripped away past the stick of Frost, and all the way down this goes. Great kill so far from this Interlake Lightning squad with just under 30 seconds remaining in it now. Moerkirk trying to find some space for herself, but has to battle with an Interlake stick while trying to get back to that puck. Now wheels around up top. Across to Frost. Frost, that shot locates the glove of Sugimoto, unable to smother it cleanly as play continues. But a good bounce here for Interlake. Oh, what a move there, number 2, and Halpenny not able to quite make the second one as she had it stripped away, but nonetheless, great creativity from number 2 here early on. All the way down to Pearson again. Pearson has that blocked into the shin pad of Martin. Martin puts Pearson into the boards. No call on the play. Or there may be, actually. As yes, there is. The referee from outside the zone, the head referee, making the call. As we go to 4-on-4 for the next 43.8 seconds. Or no, Interlake goes to a power play, I'm sorry. As yes, Central Plains power play did just expire. So a chance here for Interlake to potentially add on to their totals and gain a lead potentially. Heading into the first intermission. Pearson, not shot, dangerous, but just off the target. Had the right idea as it will be back up to the captain. Sends this down low. Sent towards the front of the net now into the skates of a teammate in front. That was Moisey, unable to control it as Pearson relocates this just outside her own end. With 15 seconds remaining now, we'll see if Moisey can create anything against Cameron. Moisey gets by Cameron, trying to protect that puck, but nice defensive play by Macbeth. Good defensive stick down low. As with 3 seconds remaining, it'll be played up to number 16. In Boonstra, but no shot taken as the horn sounds here to conclude the first period of action from Portage la Prairie this weekend for the 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase. We're all evened up at 1 apiece. Central Plains opened the scoring, but later on in that period, it would be number 10 in Lily McGregor who ends up finding a rebound for herself as she went off the post first and then luckily got it back for herself. Interlake's been playing better and better as this game has gone along. Started off 4-0 down in shots. Well, at the end of the period, 14-8 in shots in favor of Central Plains. It's a 1-1 game, and after killing off a penalty at the end of that period, Interlake was rewarded with a power play. They have 1:17 remaining in the Sierra Martin penalty for interference, or it might have been boarding. We'll take a look at Interlake's power play some more coming up here on G-Show Game Day. Your coverage of the 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase from Portage, Manitoba, brought to you by Terrico, Movement, Fitness, and Performance Elite Prospects, and our first period sponsoring Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store, located at 995 Miltsteagle Drive. Also, check out their website at cancentralsportscards.com. We're going to send it to a promo screen, and we'll be back here just before the start of the second period.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And welcome back in, Female Hockey League fans, into the upcoming second period here live from Stride Place Arena in Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. It's the Interlake Lightning taking on the hosts and the Central Plains Capitals here. The Caps ended up opening up the scoring, going up 1-0 initially in this game, but as the period went along, much better play from the Interlake Lightning, much better pressure, which ended up leading to their first goal, courtesy of number 10 in Lily McGregor, who had to get her own rebound off the post to put it in again. She finished off a tap in from the stick of Lola Parkinson, who ended up feeding her. And yeah, Interlake on a power play to start things off this period. They recently killed off a power play at the end of that first, and then got rewarded with, a Central Plains Capitals penalty. So that puts Interlake on the power play for 1:17 more here. Penalty goes to Sierra Martin of the Central Plains Capitals too. But thought that both teams, they had instances of putting up really good pressure throughout that first period, having some quality looks on net. Thought that Central Plains, for the most part, carried the majority of the play, but as the game went along in that first, Interlake did a really good job of finding their bearings, getting comfortable, and started to trust in their process a bit more, and ended up being rewarded with that goal, of course. For Interlake, it's a team that, they'll continue to fight throughout the game. No matter how many shots they give up, they'll just keep coming. And for them, if they're able to continue to survive in their own end, where even though there has been some good looks for Central Plains, like Interlake's done a better job of engaging and getting sticks on sticks with their opponent in the Capitals. So we'll see if that can continue. Interlake looking to establish some offensive zone time early here coming up in the first. Central Plains looks to kill off this penalty, I should say, and get back going to attacking in the offensive zone. And maybe we see them create off of the penalty kill coming up too in these first minute and 17 seconds, right? But as for our coverage this weekend, as we take a look at the games coming up, Westman, the Wildcats, taking on the Yellowhead Chiefs right after this game. 12:45 p.m. will be the puck drop. Later on, 3 p.m., the Selects, they get their showcase start against the Pembina Valley Hawks in a rural Manitoba rivalry there. And then the Caps, well, they're back in action later on today. Early evening game, 5:15 p.m. here on the network against Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy, the Buffaloes U18 female prep program. And then we end off tonight's coverage with the Winnipeg Avros and Prince Albert Northern Bears, as last year's MFHL finalists meet with a team from another part of the prairies, from Saskatchewan and Prince Albert. But as we get set here for period number 2, which will be brought to you by Movement Fitness and Performance, an independent local Winnipeg gym going 5 years strong. Be sure to check them out today at 1111 Winnipeg Avenue, building number 3, or 1111 as I should say. Thank you to them for supporting us, and as well as to Elite Prospects, your most informative hockey player database on the web. Be sure to check out their website today at eliteprospects.com. So we're going to start with their logo on, their branding, to start off this period, the second period of hockey coming up here. 1-1. It's nearing 11:15 on this Friday morning for the opener. As the Lightning gathered at center ice, conversing with each other. So I'd have to believe they're strategizing, telling each other where they want each other to go on this ensuing face-off draw, which is won by the Capitals. As Marlies, what a move to start things off, a little toe drag, the release into the netting as that goes off the stick of an Interlake Lightning player. That's a great start for Central Plains in this period. On the penalty kill, 8 seconds in, you get a chance like that as Marlies is able to break through. So Marlies off the draw, sends that down low. Pearson first one on it as Pearson off the stick of number 5 in Farfar. As Farfar battling. Farfar making her way towards the net. That shot just high of the blocker. The stick side of Olivia May. Lego now, some nifty moves before she sends that in. Just past the red line. Shot on net. Turned aside by Sugimoto. Left for a teammate. So that gets to number 5 in Farfar again. It's out of the reach of blocker as Taryn got to it first, sends that down low, giving chase on Farfar. Farfar, nifty move to evade the pressure there from the Central Plains captain. As Interlake, 22 seconds remaining, trying to get something towards the net. Bragg, that pass just out of her reach, but gets it back down low. Protects this along the boards, sends it up to the point. Now that shot tipped on net. Big reaction save by May, cleared away in front. That rebound is, but line held by Malmstrom. Gets this down low to Kiesman. We're back to even strength now as the pressure from Interlake ensues. And a shot out of play as Moisey took a crack at that, but off the stick of a Central Plains Capitals defenseman. And out of play. It's Malmstrom, Boonstra remain out there at the points for Interlake. As number 6, Kiesman took the draw but ended up losing it for the Lightning. As this reverse now, Mowerkirk goes all the way to Marganet. Marganet can't get that pass up, gets it right back. She went to battle. Number 14 in Trenholm as Moisey gets this back down low to Trenholm, but has that cut off this time by a Central Plains Capitals player. Malmstrom pinches up now on the boards, ties up that part of the wall where Marganet is, as she just sends this back down below her goal line as Central Plains tries to regroup in their own end. That pass off the mark for Taryn, tries to get it back, but just out of her reach again, and now Marganet gets stripped up. Nice turnover, shot in front of the net, turned aside by May. Denying Lola Parkinson already has a point in this game. An assist looking to add on with a goal. Is this all the way down? Alice Pearson first one on it for Interlake. That pass off the mark for McGregor ends up just outside of the Interlake zone as it's sent right back in. As Interlake goes to chase again to recover. Reverse behind the back by Blocker to Pearson. Gets tangled up a bit with Laycock down low, now turned over towards the net. Central Plains tried to send this, but unable to. As Central Plains unable to hold the line. Sent right back in by Macbeth as it rims around. Pearson Ends up catching up to this puck. Nice move to protect it. Outside of the boards, is this all the way down now for an icing? Or no, it's waved off. Is great job there by Interlake to beat it out. Towards the front of the net is now a player on top of Olivia May. It's madness in front of the Central Plains Capitals net. So looks like May will be okay. Never fun if you're a goaltender for a player to end up on you. As head coach Matt Zubik hollering something to his team. Or maybe trying to get the attention of the referees, I'm not so sure. It'll be an offensive zone face-off draw for the Lightning, won by Interlake as this is up to Bragg. Bragg kind of stumbles a bit, but ends up getting this to safety down low. This is worked along the boards. It's now Nolgren. Oh, a dangerous chance there from beyond the goal line. Popped out. Just had it blocked. Is now Callie Ray giving chase. Malmstrom, nice defensive stick to poke that away. Bragg will play it up the boards. Now it's out, but all the way down for an icing for this Interlake Lightning squad. This time it doesn't get waved off. So you see movement, fitness, and performance on your screen now. Independent local Winnipeg gym. They're going on 5 years strong. Sure to check them out today at 1111 Winnipeg Avenue, Building 3 in Winnipeg, Manitoba. This draw won by Central Plains. Nice protection at the line, but now a turnover. Number 11 on her way towards the net. Drag as she has that denied by May. A great chance there from Blake Drog. As for Interlake, almost made Central Plains pay there at the line. It's a bit of lackluster play there in front of the net. There we go. Interlake putting it home, back door. 2-1 they lead. For the first time today. It's just a continuation from what we just saw. That chance created by Blake Darag. And for Interlake, nice job establishing some offensive zone pressure. Central Plains not the cleanest with their puck management there. The bobbling puck ends up finding a player backdoor for the Interlake Lightning, as that goal brought to you by Elite Prospects, your most informative hockey player database on the web today. Sure to check them out at eliteprospects.com, where I'm sure you'll be able to find a lot of information on the MFHL players there, their stats from previous teams and whatnot. But it's Ella Riddle who gives her team the lead, 2-1. Score here. A team on the visitors bench, Kelsey McComb and her Interlake Lightning, looking to keep things up, is looking to go for a skate. Not sure quite who that is. Number 16, Alice Boonstra. Or Emma Boonstra. As it's Alice Pearson down low. Bit of trouble with that puck, as it'll be played to Forfar. Forfar just gets it out, but takes a tumble in the process, as blocked up again by Mowerkirk. Mowerkirk, oh, what an effort there from number 7. Tries to poke it through, but nice defensive play by Pearson to cut that off. Forfar along the boards now being hounded. It's Taryn with the puck. Her shot blocked by the opposite captain and Ellis Pearson. Great job there by 17 as Forfar passes it up. Number 14, but both collide with Central Plains players, and Central Plains now looks to head the other way. Marganet has that stripped away off the boards by Halpenny, as Halpenny winds up, gets taken out hard along the boards right near the Interlake forward bench. As down low, Interlake looking to go to work. That's Forfar along with Trenholm, held at the line by Blocker. Blocker's shot off to the side as it's off the pad of Olivia May. Trenholm off the boards. Gets this to a teammate in Hal Penny. Interlake all around it right now. Finally, some space for Central Plains to work it up. Lego somehow gets that pass across as it just got through Bragstick. As Mowerkirk protects it down low, out in front, but her teammate just a bit too late. Getting there was cover up wall by Interlake 2. As Halpenny goes to battle down low with number 17 and Linz. Linz with some great looks recently in this hockey game. A part of this forecheck that gets it back to the point. Shot wide of the marker, which was the net. So we went out of focus there for a moment. So much going on. Stripped away, wraparound chance, Linz, rebound there out in front. Or high slot for Laycock with a great chance. As this all the way down. And no icing on the play as we continue here. 13 minutes, just under that, remaining on the clock now. 16-14, the shots in favor of Central Plains. So by that statistic, just showing that this period has been Interlake so far. It's been mostly Bolts, but the opposite for both of these teams from period 1 to period 2. As it's gone along, Central Plains has started to get more and more pressure in the second frame in the Interlake zone. As that pass off the mark for Cameron. Merleys is going to give a chase, but icing will be waived. Or not waived, icing will be called. As number 15 and Brianna Malmstrom just a bit too quick there to beat out Merleys. As draw one by the Lightning. Blocker quickly over to her deep partner. That shot, oh, high went and off the crossbar, in fact. But doesn't fall for the Interlake Lightning as they still hold the zone. Bounce off the boards, trying to take advantage of it. This is fortunate for them. That shot, a nice save by May. High slot denied, number 7 in Riddle. As Blocker tries to hold the line, she does just that. Riddle still down low along the boards, but unable to keep possession of it. As Blocker sends this in, turns and fires just past the red line. May out of her own net and plays this to Frost. Frost up to Boulanger. Oh, big body check there, a shoulder check on Boulanger from 10 and McGregor. So that's a no-no here in female hockey. No legal body contact in this sport. It's considered illegal. So with that, Central Plains is going to get a chance to maybe get some of their mojo back. Really good start to this game. They've kind of fizzled out as it's gone along, though. Not as many chances in the second period as the first. We'll see if they can generate some momentum here. Taryn wins the draw up to the point. That shot off the blocker of Sugimoto. Nice save there from Eleanor. Eleanor Sugimoto covers that up with the glove. For the Central Plains Capitals power play will be brought to you by Movement Fitness and Performance. As draw one again. Lego at the point. Has Martin with her. Lego just decides to hand that off to Marganet, though. Back to Lego. Whips it back to Marganet at that right face-off circle. Now to Martin. Martin protects us up high. Drop back to Lego again. Lego trying to protect it with the backhand. Spins away. Nice job by Interlake so far, not allowing Central Plains to gain traction in the middle of the ice. The most dangerous part of the offensive zone as Lego steps up into it now, but shot unable to get through. Discipline in the lanes as Interlake, as now they may have a shorthanded chance. It's Nolgren. She has Trenholm. Nolgren a 2-on-1. That shot wide or low. Paddle the side there by May. As a minute now remains on the power play. That off the boards. Off the mark for Mowerkirk. Interlake sends it right back down low. Nolgren back on it. Whiffs on that attempt to get it down low. Taryn locates an open girl now in Mowerkirk. Mowerkirk has a girl cutting her off down in Boonstra, and she does just that. Marganet with support. Gets this to the point, but can't be held in. Offside call then for Interlake. something that they don't like to see. They'd rather see an offensive chance going down the other way, but not to be. So with 38 seconds remaining on the McGregor penalty, you gotta be really pleased if you're Kelsey McComb with your group's effort as this game's gone along. Just seemingly finding their game more and more as it's gone along. And on this power play, sure, Central Plains completed a bunch of passes to each other, but weren't able to get inside the one shot attempt they had, blocked up too, and then Interlake creates a good shorthanded chance off of that, right? It's little things that they're doing well so far. As this game continues to pick up. But content with keeping it on the outside is Central Plains. They send it down low now. That off the mark. A bad bounce off the boards for them. 2 seconds remaining. We're back to even strength. Central Plains up to the point. Macbeth steps in that shot. Couldn't get the most of it. She was disrupted by an Interlake defender before taking it. But with that, we're still at a 2-1 hockey game here for the Interlake Lightning. 9:29 remaining. Some good pressure from Central Plains in terms of their puck movement and protecting it on the outside, but hoping to get to the inside more as this game continues to progress. Pearson, D to Bragg, as Bragg surveys her options. Sends this up the boards, but into the skates now, a forfar, as it's Cameron in joining the forward check. Now at the point, Schnell sends this in deep, out of the reach for all of her teammates as they were tied up, as well as Bragg will get on it again. Bragg behind the back pass, cut off up the boards by Frost. Merles, now she tries to make her way towards the net, but has that poked away by Kiesman. Rimmed around, line held by Central Plains still. Schnell, D, that goes to Frost. Just able to hold the line, was 13. Gets it down low all the way to Cameron. Jocelyn Cameron can't get that up. Boulanger there to challenge. Held in again by Frost. At that wall, closest to our broadcast angle. Now it's reversed, but still same result. Central Plains keeps this in deep as Pearson has to look to break out again. Cut off along the wall. Nice pressure there by Frost at the point. As she's able to, guess what? Send it in deep once again. Great pressure here from Central Plains, but nothing really comes out of it except for and Ison will get a face-off coming up down in the Interlake Lightning zone here in just a moment. By the way, right after this game, we're going to bring you Westman and Yellowhead. The Chiefs taking on the Wildcats for Game 2 out of 22 this weekend from Portage La Prairie's Stride Place Arena, the home of the MJHL's Portage Terriers. But this week, the home to, dare I say, most entertaining female hockey showcase that's offered here in North America. We'll let you be the judge of that as it goes along. As a Central Plains player got taken out there at her own blue line. Interlake gets some fresh legs out onto the ice as well. A bit of join from both teams near the Interlake bench as play continues. Lego somehow gets that pass across, but just off the mark for Moerkirk as Moerkirk battles with number 16 and Boonstra down low. Good support from the captain, and Taryn gets this puck back to a defensive teammate. I believe that was number 18 and Martin. As fresh legs out for the Central Plains Capitals. Now played towards the slot for Ray, but she couldn't locate that puck. Now it's down low. Ray waxes to safety to Linz. Linz up to the point to let go. Quick D pass. Martin aware of the player there, the pressure, so she sends that down low deep. But Central Plains are unable to hold the pressure. Interlake clears this out, but stripped away of the puck just at center ice. Along the boards near the Central Plains bench now as both teams go to work. Linz, as well as McGregor. A few other players there, but we get a stoppage in play as the puck wasn't moving. With 6:43 remaining in the second period of action. The second brought to you by, of course, Movement, Fitness, and Performance, but as well as by Elite Prospects. As draw one by Central Plains just outside of the Interlake end. Interlake will go D as they control it once again. So be regrouped by Macbeth at center ice. Sends it off the boards back down into the Interlake zone as Pearson just gets this out of her own end. That was the objective. They completed as Central Plains will drop this back in their own end, regrouping Macbeth back to Merleys. Tries to play that up, but disrupted by Riddle along the boards. She did a good job of clogging that area. Down low, Macbeth being chased by Nolgren. Riddle now down low and for support. She's tied up along the boards by Cameron. Nolgren gets it back. Side of the net, challenges May, but a nice save there by number 33 as she hugged that post tight. Boulanger across to Merleys, out of her reach. Pearson gets it right back. That was before the red line, though, so an icing will be called on the play. So we'll see Taylor Taryn, Mila Marganet, and Madeline Mokirk, the top line on paper out for the Central Plains Capitals squad for Interlake. Nice job to win that draw as they try to control this and send it out, but that breakout attempt unable to go for Malmstrom. Good pressure by Frost as she's into the play from her defensive position down low to Taryn as Taryn being hounded there. Lost the puck, gets rimmed around. Riddle tries sending this out. She finally does, but turned over right away to Mokirk. Sends a heavy pass cross ice to Schnell as she ended up controlling it and sends it down low. As this breakout pass attempt picked off now, Malmstrom recovers well by cutting off the boards where Mokirk was trying to make it past her by, wraparound attempt maybe for Marganet, but lost handle on the puck. Good defense by Nolgren too. Get in her grill. Mokirk tries to dangle past Hutchinson, but can't get it past her skate. Hutchinson tries to send this off the boards, but unable to as it remains down low. Malmstrom ties up Taryn, gets body positioning on her, no call on the play. So we continue. But held in again by Central Plains. Taryn is to the captain. Sends it, I believe that was to Laycock, had that stripped away. Now Taryn tries to strip it away, right towards the net with that backhand shot, just out of the reach for Laycock to do anything with it. As 4:14 remains on the clock. Central Plains hovering in the house of the Interlake Lightning as Interlake finally able to get it out. Nolgren took a bit of a bump there before getting to a teammate. It's Central Plains who looks to break it out now. Stretch pass up to Ray, cut off right away by Trenholm. As Moisey tries to send this in deep, unable to. It's the Capitals towards the middle of the ice. Trying to make her way past this Lynn. She's had some nifty moves on display already this morning. Now, blast from the point. Macbeth off the boards wide. Linz tries to get in the rebound, but disrupted there by a Lightning player. Lego. She takes a blast. Tip wide of the net. What a redirect. That would have been for Linz as she continues to work away in the offensive zone, just not quite rewarded yet. As given chase, Lego. 19-16 the shots through the first 37 minutes of this game so far. It is in favor of Central Plains. A lot more action from Interlake in this period. Not only that, the only goal this period's been scored by Interlake. As they go off for a line change, Moisey does at least. Now the rest of her line mates fall, and Trenholm and Kiesman stretched up to Cameron, but off the mark. Into the skate instead of Boonstra. As Boonstra struggled a bit with that. So there's pressure along the boards. It's Bragg who sends it D-to-D now. But Interlake coughs it up again in neutral ice, as Central Plains has good pressure on this Bolts team. 2:20 remaining now. Looking to go for a skate as Boonstra gets cut off along the boards by Marganet. Jocelyn Cameron was also there, but it got past her. Offside maybe on the play. No, it's dropped back instead. Derigo, backdoor pass. May gets crashed into. No stoppage on the play. Now we get it. It was Forfar. Was looking for that backdoor pass reception Instead, met 33 and Olivia May right in the crease. Looks like she's okay. The draw one by this Capital squad, taken down heavily right away. Center ice. And in Mowerkirk there. That shot from the point tipped wide of the net. Interlake off a physical play, looking to generate some momentum for themselves near the end of this period now. Pearson spins and fires down low. Picked off, cut off by Central Plains up to Taryn. Pokes his pass with one hand. Tries to get past Blocker now, but Blocker just gets to it. Nice effort there from Taryn to try to get that puck back, though. Miss pass. Mowerkirk tries to take it to the net, had Taryn wide open, but a great defensive play from Interlake disrupted a pass from even ever happening. So along the boards is played up. Strong play by the Central Plains defense to hold the line. Tying up their girls, their matchups, as we're into the final minute of play here now for this period. Central Plains came in tied at one apiece, but since then, it's been Interlake who's up the ante, have given themselves the lead here earlier on in this period. It's been 2 unanswered for Interlake too, and they've had more shots. So this game has gone along too, but Central Plains done a really good job of getting momentum back their way with the pressure as this game's gone along. Reasons why Interlake's up right now is because of blocks like you just saw. Derek able to get it all the way in deep. She goes off for a line change. 25 seconds remain now. Forfar battles through. Has a teammate with her. Sends it on net. Rebound kicked into the corner by May. Maybe one more look for Central Plains if they can spread the ice out enough. No, they try to cut back to the side with a bunch of bodies. This is turned over. 10 seconds remaining now. Malmstrom has to be careful here. Luckily, a teammate there to pick it up. As walking in, Parkinson, has it stripped away. Couldn't get a shot off. And with that, female hockey league fans, we go to the second intermission with, a really good period by the Interlake Lightning. Near the end of it, as we saw, Caps put up a lot of pressure, but Interlake's done a really good job of being strong in their own end, strong on sticks, strong on their feet, and doing a good job of not making things easy for Central Plains in front either when they are able to get a look, find a loose puck, right, or find a rebound. I think for Interlake, start to that period was really good. And you're starting to see more quality from them in the offensive zone, and those quality chances going in. Taking advantage of some sloppy puck play, a bouncing puck on that go-ahead goal, and just really high hockey IQ to go to those open spots. Backdoor, for example, which was put into the back of the net. We've seen those looks a few times in this game. Do we see a few more backdoor looks from Central Plains? Well, find out for the upcoming period, the final period no matter what, since no overtime or shootouts in this showcase this weekend, since it is just that, a showcase, not a tournament with any medals or anything like that to win, no playoff rounds. Just 4 games for these 11 teams this weekend. First game of the tournament. It's looking like Interlake might come out of it with a W. But what will Central Plains have to say about that coming up? Going to throw it to a promo screen. We'll be back for the third period of action here after the second intermission. I've been your host and play-by-play commentator, Graham, the G Show Forsyth. We'll be back soon here on your home for female hockey in the province of Manitoba on G Show Productions, on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. And also, thank you to Elite Prospects, as well as Movement Fitness and Performance for sponsoring us for that second period. The most informative hockey database on the web is Elite Prospects, and of course, for Movement Fitness and Performance, an independent local Winnipeg gym. Be sure to visit them at 1111 Winnipeg Avenue, number 3. Building number 3, that is. We're going to send it to our promo screen, and we'll be back for the third period of action coming up next, live from Portage for Game 1 out of 22 this year's 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase. Welcome back to G Show Game Day, our coverage of this year's 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase, starting off this morning with Game 1 out of 22 total games in this tournament this weekend. The first of our 14 games that will be broadcasted on this rink. And yeah, it's been a very entertaining game to start off so far. Pretty interesting how, Central Plains opens up really strong. Interlake starts to get better and better as that first period goes along. And then it was the opposite in the second period. Thought Interlake started off really strong, was carrying most of the play, and then Central Plains started to find their game again. I think for this Central Plains Capitals team, we just got word that they're missing a few key players in this game, like Ainsley Zubek isn't in the lineup. It's another one, I wasn't given the name though, but apparently they're missing 2 players in this game. We haven't seen Zubek, of course, so definitely for Central Plains, they'd love to be at full strength, but still, I think that they got enough quality on this team to display the type of good chances they've had so far. If they had a bit more help, maybe we see the game at a bit of a different score. But I think for Interlake, they played exactly how I kind of expected them to. No quit in their game, a gritty effort, hard compete, and we're even seeing some great chances, great passing coming off of the good pressure that Interlake's been showing throughout this game. Example being the 2 goals they've scored so far, right? So the pressure's been good from both teams. We'll see who carries the play first here to start off this period, and we'll see how things go as we go along. This third period of action is brought to you by Terraco, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Be sure to check out why at terraco.ca to find out why that is. The referees right now just getting the net set for the 2 goaltenders. Olivia May in net for the Central Plains Capitals. Eleanor Sugimoto in net for the Interlake Lightning. As period number 3 in Game 1 of this year's 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase is underway. Mower Kirk tries to protect along the boards, but cut off by Blocker. As Blocker sends that DDD to the captain and Ellis Pearson. Pearson tied up with Margan at a bit of a hook, but no call on the play. Schnell from the point sends that wide. Off the boards it goes to Mowerkirk, though. So Mowerkirk gets it to Marganet. Marganet works it up along the outside to Shantz. Shantz right back down to Marganet as she shields that along the boards, trying to protect it from the Lightning player, the opposition. A Terran high slot. That shot not out in play. Thought it was going to hit the netting, but ends up dropping down just enough. This, not going to be an icing on the play, is touched a Lightning player past the red line, so the referees wave it off. Allows for Interlake to get some fresh legs on. Central Plains looks to break this back in. Lynn sends this in deep, goes to chase, but Kiesman too quick, plays that up the right side quickly. As it remains down low. Lynn's trying to get this towards that backhand, unable to go there for her. She also trips up on something, not sure what. She lost her balance there. Just played up through the skates of Moisey. Is that off the mark for number 12? Gives chase on Macbeth. Delayed offside on the play, meaning Interlake has to regroup. Get out of the zone to attack again. Allows for Macbeth to skate with some space down the right side. Tries to maneuver away past Boonstra. Boonstra caught a piece of her, but Macbeth still sent it down low. Boonstra on it now. Tries to play it up past Lynn, but Lynn, great job of clogging that side of the boards as Jocelyn Cameron gives chase. Interlake able to feed it off quickly. It's onto the stick of Boonstra. Boonstra tries to play it off the boards past Lynn, but Lynn, nice job to cut it off. Lynn's, I should say, not Lynn. It's L-I-N-S. That's how her last name's spelt. As Interlake just able to get it out. It's Jocelyn Moisey. Cuts to the middle. Another cut to the outside for Moisey as she continues to protect this puck. Challenging Lynn's now is Lynn's. It's a bit of a body on her. Back up to Pearson. DDD this goes. A blast from Bragg wide of the net. Is ducking for cover from friendly fire was Derek there. As this ends up back into the neutral zone. Played to Pearson. Pearson sends this in deep. As Interlake's dump and chase approach continues here in this period. Just trying to keep Central Plains back on their heels as much as possible. Derek plays that to the net. Rebound there. Trying to find it side of the net. It's May who covers it up. So we get a whistle. 17:03. 21-19. The shot's now in favor of the Interlake Lightning. 7:03 remaining. Let's draw one at the point. Bragg tries to blast that through, but unable to. As it's Central Plains making their way up. For Callie Ray. Ray cut off by Bragg down low. Bragg maneuvers this up. Number 11, Derek. Loose puck there. Laycock tries getting that to the net, but disrupted. Nice job by Interlake on that hard defense we've been talking about in this matchup. So we get a whistle, a stoppage in the play. So it was an icing. The change just a bit too late there for number 11 and Blake Derriggs as we resume play here. Action, it's Taylor Taryn. Wheels up, passes it off to Shantz. Shantz, her shot from the point, kicked aside by Eleanor Sugimoto. As for Pearson, sends that out wide to Derrick. Derrick tries to make her way down low on Shantz along the boards, but unable to get past the Central Plains Capitals defenseman. As this across to Boonstra, she looks to go for a skate, but she gets cut off in her own right by number 2 and Schnell. Schnell along the boards battling with Halpenny, as both number 2s colliding with each other right now. Halpenny able to win the battle, gets this up to Boonstra. That shot a bit wobbly as it hit May. As it goes into the boards, out of danger. Played out. First one on it, Blocker. Blocker whiffs on that pass as Mowerkirk giving good pressure. Mowerkirk whips this down low off the skate of Blocker. Allows for Taryn to get in on the forecheck and wreak some havoc. It's played up the boards, cut off by Central Plains. That's number 10 in Lego. It's up to the point, held in by number 5 in Merleys. Merleys given chase now. Same with Lynn's back out there. As Interlake unable to break out of the zone. Line held by Faith Legault. Legault sends this off the glass and down low as it rims around to Jocelyn Cameron. Cameron trying to protect this puck, and she does just that. Nice maneuverability down low from number 8. Loose puck gets to Linz. Macbeth. Back to Cameron. To Linz! That shot fanned on, but still a tough save made by Sugimoto. Just survives it. As for Linz, what's it going to take for number 17 to finally beat the opposition's goaltender? And the Lightning's Eleanor Sugimoto may take a perfect shot from her today. So many good looks, but not the final result she's wanted on any of them. Maybe some interference here. No, as Forfar goes hard into the boards. Took a check heading towards the net as Central Plains breaks up. It's Macbeth all alone. 4 Lightning players around her. That off the blocker of Sugimoto as number 1 had to make a tough save. It's across. Macbeth tries sending that back to Boulanger, but off the mark for number 11. Area was clogged up well. It's the Lightning. That just past the outstretched glove of Martin all the way out into the capital zone, but they're able to whack it out and break out right away. As Interlake, that puck bobbles on the way in again. Allows for Central Plains to be able to break out as off the boards this goes all the way down for an icing. Terrico, our third period sponsor. Served Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. And right now, the Westman Wildcats, their players doing their pregame stretches as they get warmed up to play in the next matchup on this rink. 12:45 will be the puck drop between the Westman Wildcats and the Yellowhead Chiefs. Two MFHL rivals going at it. The second game of the showcase, and just got a chance to read Westman shirts. They got some team shirts for their warm-ups. No off ice, and it says, "Never be satisfied," I believe, from what I remember reading just now. And I think that's a great motto for a team that definitely looking to right the wrongs from last year. A bit of an anomaly for the Westman Wildcats as they finished 7th place in the MFHL, usually a top 4 team year in and year out, an MFHL champion multiple times before. As this, a nice look into the slot, but not there for a one-timer, was Mowerkirk in position. As this for Schnell holds the line. Physical play there from Moisey. Gets past her. Mowerkirk able to shoot that, but wide of the net it goes. Went off of a stick. With 12:26 remaining in this third period of action. Both teams down low, trying to get this puck loose. 2 Caps players there, 3 Lightning players in the corner. For the Caps right now, playing a 2-1-2, it looks like. And Interlake defended that well, outnumbered them in the corner. Moisey takes that puck away from Mowerkirk, just past the red line. As Moisey sends us on to the stick of Chance. Whistle is called. Her whistle is blown. Play dead. As for Central Plains, they'll be going back to the penalty box. Mowerkirk. Have 2 minutes to think about that. And 2 minutes for this Lightning team, or maybe less, if they score sooner to build on this 1-goal lead. Only seen their power play once today. Pearson hesitated on the shot, holds on to it. Nice job as she gets that to a teammate in number 8, Ella Riddle. Riddle, nice moves to get this towards the net. That just wide off the stick from McGregor in front. Blocker, her shot tipped, blocked up well in front by Central Plains, and sent all the way out, back down to the Lightning zone. Pearson had to be careful there, almost turned it over into Lego's skates. But it's back down low. That shot wide of the net as it was Parkinson who ripped it just over the shoulder of May. 1:13 remaining. McGregor already with a goal in this game. Comes down left side, uses Macbeth as a screen. Almost fooled May, but able to cover up that rebound well enough. As for Taryn, on this penalty kill, Central Plains finally does send it down with 53 seconds remaining. Getting mostly fresh legs onto the ice. Taryn changed recently too before all of that, as she's out there giving good effort on the forecheck. Taryn tries to strip this away from Halpenny, and she does. Almost gets past number 18 or 16 in Boonstra. But a good enough defensive stick to disrupt that from number 16 on number 20. It's up to Fofar. Another good stick from Taryn to strip that away. Sends it down low. 25 seconds remaining. Captain for Central Plains. Well-deserved break as she goes off. Just killed about 20 seconds herself with her forecheck there. Impressive stuff from the captain. 2 players collide just past the red line. That was Boonstra. I believe Frost. Interlake able to get this back down low. Loose puck picked up. We're back to even strength. As it's to Malmstrom. Malmstrom can't get that through. Blocked up by the Caps. Sent all the way down. Will this be beat out for an icing by Mowerkirk? No, it won't be. That was great effort there from number 7 just out of the box. Nice idea from Central Plains to try to stretch the ice and locate their open teammate. With 9:46 remaining, it ended up being an icing instead. Or maybe it wasn't supposed to be an icing, given that this face-off is at center ice. Draw 1 by Interlake. Try to send it in deep. This met by the stick of Boulanger. Tries to maneuver her way out. Lakehawk calling for the puck, banging her stick on the ice. Gets taken out. Boulanger tries to follow up by taking that puck away, but unable to. So is played to safety by Pearson. Joins her teammates now in the battle to try to get this loose puck away. It'll be Central Plains who gets it loose, but Bragg able to send it in deep into the capital zone again. D this goes to Martin. Martin into the back of the legs of Laycock. As Frost tries to play this off the boards up to a teammate, unable to. Puck remains along that side of the ice. Now to our closer end. As it got played D up to Hutchinson. Hutchinson can't quite get that shot through as it's blocked up. Now to Linz. Linz sends this cross ice. And oh, Ray taken out hard into the boards. This is not good. Oh my goodness. We're going to cut away from that right away. We'll be right back. And back here at Stride Place in Portage La Prairie. Unfortunately, number 9, Callie Ray, took a bad fall into a gate that looked partially open at the Interlake bench. She was able to get off up the ice, though, helped up by her teammates. Yeah, it's brutal to see this at any point, especially before the regular season even starts, and first game of the showcase tournament, which is just to get you ready for the season of action. As we'll get set to play here in the upcoming moments once again. Offensive face-off draw for Central Plains coming up. Taylor Tarrant wins the draw for Central Plains as we're back to play here. It's a game misconduct, I believe, for number 11 in Blake Derrig for Interlake to give this Caps team the power play, as they look to fare better this time around compared to the last one, where Interlake really didn't give them any good chances on the inside. Let's see if Central Plains can break through it here a bit as Lego settles it down at the point. This is back to Lego. Pass from Linz as Lego's pass across ends up finding the stick of Moisey, intercepted by this Lightning team and sent out. Lego tied up, but Linz there for support, picks us up. Draw pass to Cameron. Jocelyn Cameron, drop back, nice one to Linz as that shot unable to make its way through, is blocked up. As Cameron back on it, drops that off to Linz, back up top to the point to Lego. Lego fires this into the shin pads of Linz, recovers it well, tried to get that shot on net, but nothing doing. As it's played into the slot, cut off by McGregor, sent out. It's the other number 10, her stick not quite strong enough to hold the line as Lego challenges McGregor, rubs bodies with her on the way back in. As Mowerkirk down the right side loses her balance but maintains possession of the puck. Gets to Marlies. Marlies up top to the point, Lego. That blast took a tip, went high of the net, missed its target. Marlies mishandled that pass reception, but recovered well, got it back down low to Mowerkirk, who she gets challenged by Ellis Pearson. Taryn in to help out. Taryn side of the net, fires it off the pad of Sugimoto. Rebound there, turned aside by Sugimoto again. Face off once again in the Interlake zone, this time to the glove hand side of Sugimoto, won by the Capitals. That shot from Shantz at the point, pillowed aside, as I should say, by Sugimoto, as that pass can't get through. Halpenny blocks it up and she's off to the races, giving chaser, the Capitals behind her. Halpenny goes high of the net and we play on 2-1. Great short-handed chance there from number 2. It's Shantz who recovers this puck along the boards. In her own end. Plays a D to Macbeth. Short little pass up, being cut off right away. Can't quite make out that number as it's to Mowerkirk. Mowerkirk goes wide of the net. This is picked up again by Interlake, but being rubbed out along the boards there. Number 7 in Lola Parkinson. So it allows for Central Plains to maintain the pressure down low. This to the high slot, Marganet, drop back, Linz. That shot into the glove. More of a harmless shot that time around from Linz. Didn't get enough on it. Not to her liking, at least. Made an easy save for Sugimoto, and by the way, love Sugimoto's goalie kit. Big fan of those brown pads. An old school look there a bit. I guess modern old school is what we'll call it. As in front, a close chance there, but not to be for Cameron as she whacked away at a rebound put on by Tarano. Nice save by Sugimoto. Great reaction time. Wasn't sure if she'd make it across, but just got there to make that save off the blaster. Merle's tipped in front. Sugimoto able to make the save with the right shoulder as it gets out. The chance is a bit more dangerous here now for Central Plains. They're able to infiltrate the most dangerous area of the ice, which is that slot. Gets to Cameron. Cameron, her shot. Oh, not what she wanted. Had a wide open net, but shot it on the opposite side. Sugimoto was right there to make the save. A minute 18 remains on the Central Plains power play. Draw one by Central Plains. It's Lego. That shot unable to get through. Blocked up by Interlake and sent out off the stick by their keysman, Warren Olgren. As for Schnell, that pass off the mark, but recovered now in the neutral zone by Marganet. Surveys, fire to Lego, gets it right back to Marganet. Marganet with some speed heading in. That shot blocked by Blocker. Living up to her name with that big block off the shin pad. This is all the way down back into the capital zone. Some room to maneuver here. Nice little inside-outside move by Lego. Lego goes to the outside again. Now cut off by McGregor. All she can do is send that down deep. Central Plains trying to get some pressure on Interlake, trying to evade the pressure here. With 21 seconds remaining. Rubbed out along the boards. That'll be a penalty coming up to the Central Plains Capitals. A body contact penalty. With 3:47 remaining. 17 seconds of 4-on-4 time here. Face-off draw will be to the glove hand side of May. Got a bit lost there for a sec. Is off the draw. Oh, nice try by Moisey, but goes just wide of the net. Jocelyn been dangerous here tonight. Or not tonight, this morning. Already ahead of ourselves. We'll be here all day, all night this weekend, by the way, for all the games that'll be played on Stripe Place Arena Rink 1. Yeah, just after noon here. 12:15, 3:20 remaining in this hockey game. It's a minute and 30 of power play time now for Interlake as they look to close this out. Of course, wins, losses really don't matter at the end of the day in this tournament, but at the end of the day, these are competitors. And if you're able to get a win, like, it always feels great, especially against a rival. As these two teams played each other many times before. Most recently when it mattered the most in the MFHL's play-in last year, where it was the Interlake Lightning who ended up making it through in 3 games before they got ousted against the Eastman Selects, eventual MFHL champions, in a sweep. And in this game, it's all about looking to close it out now for Kelsey McColm and her group, a group that she's had locked in as this game has gone along. Really found their legs and started off trailing in the shot category, but now lead at 30-25 with 48 seconds left of power play time. Blocker makes her way towards the front of the net. Nice glove save made there by May. With 43 seconds remaining, draw 1 by the Central Plains Capitals. 43 seconds remaining in this power play, that is. Now 35 seconds remaining, 2:20 left in this hockey game. The Central Plains have a late push within them. Does Interlake have what it takes to close this one out? We'll find out here coming up shortly. As nice protection there from Trenholm. Plays this up but turned over into Central Plains possession. So we will get a whistle. I believe just an offside on the play. As Taylor Tarrant to take the draw against Kiesman. Nice win by number 6 for Interlake as Kiesman's teammate Pearson sent it down low. Pearson now looking to hold the line, and she just does that. She sent it towards the net. We're back to even strength. As Interlake looking to attack here. Laid off the side of the net. That went. You could hear the clank from the post from here. It's still held in by the Bolts. Pearson to Trenholm. Trenholm up to Pearson. That shot not able to get through the body of number 13 in Frost. Mispass though. Got a bit too antsy maybe. As that ends up being an icing. Central Plains can change. I guess no timeouts here either. They're going to be used by Matt Zubik, his coaching staff. as Carolyn Nolgren takes the draw tie up. Possession to Central Plains. As for the Capitals, trying to feed this up. It's behind the back of Taryn, tried to recover it to get it again. Couldn't quite add a teammate with her, but Central Plains still searching for total possession of the puck. May heads to the net now. Extra attacker coming on for Central Plains. Late game push, stripped away. It's Boonstra who has it on her stick, sends this out. Macbeth meets that at the boards and sends it back in after intercepting it. Interlake off to the races. Nolgren, oh, nice move, but can't get the shot off. She had her pocket picked before even trying to shoot it. Macbeth went back to play a goal, but now moves up in her defensive position again. It's Taryn. Hands this off with one hand to Merleys, but an offside on the play. The unlucky morning for Linz continues as she ends up being the one who is offside. It was her and Mowerkirk. Merleys. That were well on their way. And there we go, a timeout from the Caps. By the way, female hockey league fans, we're not done yet. Not even close to that after this game. We got 5 on tap today. Next one coming up is the Yellowhead Chiefs and the Westman Wildcats. And it's not going to be me on the call for that one. It's going to be Anthony Bailey, a new play-by-play announcer for us. That is going to be making his debut on the network. He'll have the call for the Wildcats and the Chiefs coming up. 12:45 p.m. will be the puck drop. No pregame show for that as well, by the way. So yeah, our only pregame shows will be at the start of the day before the first and or second game. Might be bringing you the pregame show after the first game tomorrow. So we got quite an early start tomorrow, which is crazy. But we'll see what Central Plains has in store here. 31.5 seconds left after talking about it. Their coaching staff, Taryn out to take the draw against Kiesman. One by Taryn, whipped across quickly to Jocelyn Cameron, but tied up right away by an Interlake Lightning player. Given chase, it's Chance, has to move this puck quick. It's along the boards, two-leg go, but out of her reach, sent back down low by Interlake. 13 seconds remain. Let's see if they can bottle up the zone. No, it's Central Plains who makes their way through. Taryn, that shot saved by Sugimoto, covers up the rebound. What a chance there from number 20. Captain Capital and Taylor Taryn. A breakdown from the defensive coverage in the Interlake Lightning. Central Plains finds the gaps, but not to be for them this morning as Interlake, the Lightning, start off their showcase with the victory. And we got some pushing and shoving here to end off this game. A heated rivalry nonetheless. Wrote its next chapter today and ends it off with the Interlake Lightning taking home a 2-1 victory in this hockey game this morning. We are not going to have a post-game show for you, so no players of the games. I will just say this. What a broadcast, what a game that we were able to do and that we were treated to. Thank you to Elite Prospects, Terrico, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, and Movement Fitness and Performance for sponsoring this matchup. Both teams, as is tradition, will go through the handshake line. A game where it was 31-26 in favor of the Shots for Central Plains, but not to be for them. Just falling short. I want to thank you all for tuning into this one and watching. As mentioned, Anthony Bailey will have a call for Westman and Yellowhead coming up. Central Plains started off with the lead in this one. It was 2 unanswered from Kelsey McComb's group. McGregor with the goal, as well as Blake Derrig with the game winner. So long, everybody. Thanks for tuning in as our 2025 Central Plains Capitals Showcase coverage continues next at 12:45 p.m. with the Westman Wildcats and Yellowhead Chiefs. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.